Good afternoon. This is Explorer 867. Today's the first day of the rest of your life, so get out and enjoy it. Get out in the field and see something new. Click on the thumbs up if you enjoy the videos. Click on the subscribe button. Click on the bell and you'll get the most updated video from the site. This all helps the channel to go forward, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, enough about that. What I'm talking about today is the Pandora moth, and it's this little guy in here, right there. And he's quite a little problem here in Central Oregon. We have an infestation going on, and actually we've had an infestation going on for the last 4 years. And so anyhow, the first recorded outbreak of the Pandora moth, and that's the first recorded outbreak, they've been around longer than this, but was back in the 1890s, and that was down at the Klamath Indian Reservation. The larva defoliates the ponderosa pine, jack pine, and lodgepole pine trees. So what happens is the moths lay their eggs on the trees. The larva emerges and then overwinters at the base of the needles on the trees. Then in the springtime, when things start warming up and things start moving around again, the larva eats the needles of the tree, and it'll literally defoliate the tree. It can, in the worst case scenario. And there are sections of the forest around here that has happened. They're literally almost completely defoliated. The moths / the larvae tend to focus on the mature stands of the ponderosa and the jacks and lodgepole trees. They will attack the understory just as well, but to a lesser extent. So the moths lay the eggs, the larvae emerge the next year, and then feed on the trees, and then pupate into the moths, and then the circle goes around and around. It takes 2 years for a complete circle for each generation. So the trees have an opportunity to recover, send out new needles the second year after or the year after the larva stage. So the trees do have a chance to recover. The outbreaks can cause the extensive defoliation, leading to the growth loss and sometimes tree mortality if it's coupled with drought and also the mountain pine beetle. And so it can theoretically, with that trifecta, can kill that tree. So the adults, like right now, the adults are emerging. These guys here are emerging now, middle of July, and they'll be busily flying around and laying eggs on the trees until about the middle of August, thereabouts. The outbreaks, the full outbreak can last between 6 and 8 years. And like I said, we're in the middle of this one, so we're into it about 4 years. Fortunately, the larva and the moth itself do have predators, and certain birds will prey upon these guys, and then you also have wasps and yellow jackets, which are a wasp, that will also prey on them too. The most important killer, though, is a virus that will go after and kill the larva stage. So anyhow, the biggest help for the tree stands to withstand the infestation of the moth is proper horticultural practices by the Forest Service, and that is proper spacing on the trees. So opening up the stand so you get the proper amount of photosynthesis. That increases the vigor of the tree and enables them in a lot of cases to survive both the pine beetle and also to help survive the impact of the Pandora moth. The Forest Service also needs to burn the slash when they open up the stands, cull the trees, remove the trees to open up the spacing. They need to burn all of that debris, and that'll help to kill the beetles and get rid of some of the moths, the larva stage. Also, they need to make sure that during replanting, they're using the proper seed source for their seedlings and planting the proper species of tree. So anyway, this is kind of what's going on here. The Bend, Central Oregon area has just been really, invaded by these Pandora moths. And so when you see the forests around Central Oregon, certain areas of them are declining, this is what the problem is. So anyhow, like I said, click on the thumbs up if you like the videos. Click on subscribe. These help the channel move forward. Click on the bell. You'll get the latest content as I release it. And so anyway, this is Explorer 867. Looking forward to seeing you in the great outdoors.